All right, I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Canyon City Preservation Commission. Cindy, will you do roll call, please?
Chris Jenkins, Lester, Mike,
Here?
Rich,
Here.
Jim.
Here.
Oh, Jim's here. Cindy is here, and Mildred.
Here?
All right. Has everyone had a chance to go through the minutes of last meeting and our agenda for this meeting? If so, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes for the February 23rd meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Chris,
Yes.
Lester, Mike,
Yes?
Rich,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Cindy is a yes, and Mildred.
Yes.
All right, so item 4 on our agenda, committee for reviewing applications for certificates of alterations.
So the reason why I put this on the agenda is we recently received a couple application forms already regarding certificates of alteration to historic properties or contributing properties to the downtown historic district. And in all of these cases so far, they didn't really require the type of work that they were applying for. Didn't require a full public hearing, a formal public hearing for our commission. It was minor, either alterations to the backside of a property and involving a better access ramp to the backside, or repointing brick with appropriate material matching the grain, size, color, just to repair it. In which case, in that case, there might have been a conflict of interest with one of the commission members. So had to go back and make sure that we had somebody sign off on it, look it over, make sure I'm doing my due diligent work to pass that along to the building department and issuing them a permit. So it's a timely process. So having a committee established that is available whenever we receive them to look it over quickly and then pass it along would be great. And I think the owners of the property would appreciate that, as well as the building department.
Is there a number of people we need on the committee?
Probably about three. 3 should be sufficient.
It's a committee I would enjoy being on, but I am involved in a lot of this restoration work, and I anticipate seeing lots of no votes for me due to conflict of interest.
Or
So-
abstaining.
Or, yeah,
Abstain.
abstaining. Which I'd be fine with, but we'd need more people on the committee if I were to have to abstain on a vote.
I'd be happy to be on the committee.
Yeah, this is Jim. I'd be happy to be on it as well. I, in fact, looked over the material that Lisa sent out, the certificate of alteration application, and I a little bit misunderstood. I didn't realize we were just appointing a committee, and I have developed a few comments at this point. So I'm raring to go.
Is there anyone else who'd like to be on this committee?
Yeah, I'd be interested, if you have a hole in that committee, yeah, I'd be very much interested.
Yeah, and I think for the most part, just kind of looking at a lot of the projects that are coming, it's not going to be a lot of big design reviews. It would be more looking at a project and seeing, I guess, for example, one of these projects, my company, we're doing some cleaning and repointing on a building. And just to confirm that that's all that's going on is some maintenance to the building. It's not adding an addition, and those would be the quick turnarounds. There may be some that you would see an addition on, but I think it's going to be pretty rare.
But it's the larger ones that you need help with, is that correct?
No, actually, it's the smaller ones too. So we can just have a quick turnaround, making sure that I'm not missing anything when I look it over. It's having that extra committee to sign off on it.
So then in a case where there would be a design review, would that start out with the committee?
Yeah, we can definitely follow that process. They would look it over and then make a decision on whether or not it needs to go to a public hearing.
Nice. Well, we've got 3 members of the committee to start out. 4? So that should work. Oh, yeah, I guess we need a motion to appoint these people or form the committee?
Yes, you will need to submit a motion to form that committee and to appoint those individuals.
Okay, I
You
will
can do it all in one.
I will entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to recommend Chris, Mike, Jim, and Mildred to the committee to review applications for the certificates of alteration.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Chris,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Cindy is a yes, and Mildred?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Item 5 on the agenda, our historic preservation plan updates, the subcommittee reports, starting with historical context and survey subcommittee.
So the Historical Context and Survey Committee, Subcommittee, has been continuing to work on doing field and what I'd call windshield type surveys of different neighborhoods. They're acquiring accessor records for gathering information. Millie, you're on the committee. So they're plugging away. It's an ongoing process for them, and it'll probably take some time. They might end up taking a little bit of sabbatical to allow the other committee to catch up.
All right, how about the education outreach subcommittee?
well, I'm not aware that we've done much, and I think with the celebration for the 150th anniversary, I know Lisa certainly tapped out, and everyone else has been pretty busy doing other things. So I think probably the most realistic thing is to figure that later this year, we may be able to encourage public involvement in a more robust way than we have. And that may need to carry into next year when some of the 150th anniversary activities are over and staff and commission members have time to really focus on this.
I've done some work in this whenever I can. We just did Morning Line for KRLN, and the topic was historic preservation and trying to encourage people to share their memories of specific areas of Canyon City neighborhoods. There might be an opportunity, especially during the city fair sesquicentennial event on April 2nd, at our booth, of encouraging more people to share their memories. That's one way to engage. And of course, the Fremont Center for the Arts, in partnership with the Royal Gorge Regional Museum and History Center, is going to be doing a Then and Now exhibit opening April 1st as well. And it's predominantly photographs of historic buildings with what's there currently. Some buildings have changed, some buildings are completely gone. So there's that opportunity as well.
Lisa, did you say that was at the Art Center, or did you say that was at the History?
That's going to be at the Fremont Center for the Arts.
Okay, awesome.
Yep. And there might be an opportunity in May as well. We're in communication, or have been, with a teacher at the high school who teaches Colorado history, and there might be an opportunity probably in May for doing something with his class. We can also, if you want, I know that we sort of got derailed at the last meeting with having to do a public hearing. We could try to set another work session in place of our regular meeting in April for this subcommittee, if you would like.
Yeah,
Barring if any applications we may receive.
right. Yeah, I think that would be good.
On another note, on outreach and education, we are a part of Downtown Colorado, member of Downtown Colorado Incorporated, and this month, where are we?
March?
Middle of April. I feel like I'm already there, man. There's the DCI's Downtown Challenge Conference is in Colorado Springs, and they award a governor's award for downtown excellence, and we've nominated the Fremont National Bank building, TZAX building. If it's awarded, that's going to be a great opportunity to get the word out, press release kind of stuff, and then we can incorporate Historic Preservation Commission in their application. They obviously went through every avenue they could possibly go through to get their historic designation, but that'll be a good outreach opportunity as well.
Nice. Do we have anything else on subcommittee reports? So Saving Places Conference report continued.
I was trying to remember, there was one of the three of you that had attended the conference wanted to share some additional comments from their conference sessions that they attended. I can't remember which one of you had asked that.
I think I got through all of mine.
Okay.
I did have some material I was going to send out that I had taken pictures of some of the PowerPoint presentations that were interesting, so I was going to get those downloaded and sent.
Yeah, I think that's what you're thinking of, is some
Okay.
of those slides.
Okay. Yeah, if you wanted to share them.
I think we had discussed how we would follow up with, since we do have and it was already mentioned, the Fremont National Bank, on how we could appropriately get the community aware of what they've done through, I know there's going to be an open house, but through some kind of a seminar, or kind of what you talked about, recreating what we saw in Denver, but on a more local scale.
Yeah. And talking about that same building, I did a recent Zoom seminar. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but dealing with downtown or with historic districts. And I did mention and ask the question about the bank building because it was covered up in the 70s and the district was created in the 80s and it's listed as what is it, a nuisance or
Non-contributing
an
building?
intrusion?
Non-contributing building to
Well,
the
I think
historic.
it's beyond non-contributing, because they have contributing and then non-contributing, and then they have intrusions. And
A
it's,
better word for eyesore, in other
yeah,
words? This one?
yeah, it's on as an intrusion. And I wrote down the name of the gentleman who does our area and works with that, and said it would be a fairly easy process to get that onto our downtown district as a contributing building. I know the old hospital was added as an addendum across from the administration building.
So there was a resurvey done of the historic downtown district in 2004 and 2005, and at that point, they extended it, I believe, a block east on one side, and I believe the hospital, too, was added at that point. So there's another opportunity in the next couple years to resurvey the whole downtown historic district, in which case we can even look at other properties that had been listed as non-contributing because of a remodel. Well, now, within the next couple of years, actually some of them were remodeled over 50 years ago. That could be now a contributing building to our downtown if a resurvey was done. There's maybe a primary contributing or a secondary, more of a recent range. There's that possibility, I think.
Right, and in that meeting, they did talk about, I guess, the context behind how the historic district is set up. And I'd have to look into what all that verbiage is, but it may not allow for something that is 50 years old now to be part of that original historic district. It's something I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing, but I'll have to look back in my notes. It was an interesting meeting. And just thinking about our historic district, and even Murray Saloon isn't part of it. Is that correct?
Yes, Murray Saloon, 305 Main Street is not included, it's not within the boundary of the historic district. It was surveyed at that time, but those surrounding buildings would have offset the contributing buildings to the non-contributing percentage-wise, and so that's why they cut it off sort of in the middle of the block, or just to the west of the Strathmore McClure.
And I think one thing to consider too, as we get ready to recognize the bank building, the work that the architect that did the original wrap went to preserve the building, as contrasted with the Valleywide building across the street, where the fundamentals of the building were, as we saw when they tried to do their restoration, were effectively destroyed. So I think we should recognize that architect for the work done to wrap it in a way that preserved its integrity.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I guess we can move on to next item, announcements and discussion items, upcoming webinars and training opportunities.
There will be another CLG training webinar slated for April 20th. Preservation loans is the subject. They'll be seeking resources to restore and rehabilitate your community's buildings, finding out how to secure low-interest preservation financing, and use it to leverage other funding sources. That will be during the noon hour, and you can register for that through the CLG portal.
Is everyone getting emails for notifications for those?
I can make sure that you're getting notifications for that. When I get them, I'll email them out to you, forward them to you. You can always go on the CLG portal at any time and look to see what they already have available for viewing. A lot of their older webinars are available to see, and they have a lot of lists and links to other resources depending on the topic.
Yeah, I think I'm getting notifications. That's why I was able to attend the last one, which it was a quick half hour, 45 minutes. But yeah, if I didn't get that email, I don't think I would have even remembered or realized that it was going on.
I'll make sure that I forward those all to you when I receive them. The other thing, of course, is shameless plug, is regarding the Sesquicentennial events. On April 2nd, we will have our city fair starting at 3 p.m. that day. It'll last till about 6 o'clock at the high school. And then the historical performance or production will start at 6:30 that evening. And then fireworks following that. So I hope you can all at the high school.
Don't forget about the trolley tour.
Oh, and the trolley tour, of course. How could I forget? Yes, April 1st, first Friday, there'll be a free trolley tour through the downtown historic district. The Spirits will be doing little presentations on front of the buildings that they're going to be stopping at. It'll be at Macon Plaza starting at 4:15 and running at the every 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yep, and it's free. Limited space though, so get there early.
Do you have to reserve ahead of time? No?
If you
What
want, yeah.
If you can go right at 4:15 when it kind of gets started, and we'll have all 5 runs up and have colored tickets numbered 1 through 18 for each run, so you could pick up a ticket then and then come back at that appropriate time.
Oh, that's a great idea. Okay,
So,
thanks, Rich.
yeah.
And of course, the opening at the Fremont Center for the Arts that same night,
Yeah.
First Friday.
Then and now shows.
And as part of announcements, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Mildred Wentz for being named the Doc Little Award recipient for this year.
That's great. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, surprise.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Do we have any other announcements or any announcements from the public?
I would just also add thanks to Lisa because we're hoping to hold an event at the Golden Age Center, kind of a conversational thing, and having an open house for the Golden Age Center at that time as well. So really thankful for Lisa that she's willing to come and encourage that. It'll be fun.
You've been very busy. Very, very busy.
Lisa needs a vacation,
Yeah.
just not on April 2nd.
All right, well, if there are no further business, I will adjourn this meeting.